All right, now with the general election set next week, Tuesday, the election's going to be over in a week. KUAM continues our coverage, and tonight's the premiere of the Roundtable Generations 20, a group of young adults representing both the gubernatorial camps and young reporters. Several young reporters are here right now, decked out in costumes very, very well. I may have, of course, my broadcast colleagues, Matsuki Hirayama, Daniel Perez, and Nick Delgado. Guys, what was it like to put together this panel, but also to put together this show and really get, face-to-face feedback from your peers?
Well, it was really enlightening that everybody sort of had the same opinion, but in a different way. Mm-hmm. So that's one of it. Maybe, what did you think, Nick?
Well, happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah.
Just for some context here.
You're kind of like Nick. You're kind of like the elder millennial. Also, so you see things from from a variety of.
Thanks for that backhanded comment.
No,
I appreciate that. But yeah, no, it was great to help produce the groups and the participants here to hear just that raw discussion that had to be had about why young voters these days, and as we've seen in elections past, just don't want to get involved. Mm-hmm. And so we heard them. I told each participant from the RGen group and Generation of Promise, that's from each gubernatorial camp, to come with their own topic to discuss and just go for it. The reporters, they also, because like Matsuki and Daniel here, still kind of new to the game here, they're asking, or even Hannah, they're asking, what about trying to remain unbiased? And I said, this is your opportunity to just be you. You're in this demographic of people in their 20s. We want to know and get to the root of the issue of why they're just not turning out the numbers that we hope to at the polls.
Mm-hmm. Matsuki, what types of topics tended to bubble up and be the most prevalent from the people you talk to? Because I know every time the election comes up, everybody's like, okay, it's healthcare, education, public safety, and the economy and everything like that. But did you find it to be the same thing with your peers?
Yeah, so some of the topics that came up in our discussion were crime. There are even small issues like potholes, but those issues matter as well, as our Hannah brought up in the discussion. And we also talked about abortion and the rate of recidivism, or which goes along with crime. But one thing that I came out of the discussion, feeling that made me feel empowered, was I walked in there not knowing, or I had no clue about the Period Poverty Act that the Guam Youth Congress passed with the legislature into the legislation. And so I think that's really empowering that our youth, I know that a lot of people say our youth have voter apathy, but in a way, this is their decision they're making action happen. So as we can see with the Guam Youth Congress.
Okay, and Daniel, we'll wrap up with you before we give everybody a sneak peek of this show tonight, which, by the way, it's already on YouTube, it's already on Facebook. Tremendous feedback so far, very, very compelling stuff, and you're going to be able to catch it tonight, 6:30 on KUAM TV 8. But with the people that you had on the panel, right? Some people can say, was that a representative group of people that reflected the needs and the interests of that group, or was it just these are the people who are going to have to reach out, metaphorically and literally, to their peers and basically say, if politics interests you, and for many of you it does not, there is an important side to this.
There is, yeah. One of the things that we talked about that was really shocking was Mitsuki, Hannah, and all the other people that were part of that panel. One of the main things that they spoke about, the females, was that they don't feel safe around the island, which is alarming considering Guam is very small. They should feel safe in our nice little island.
Interesting. You would never hear that from people like my generation. I'm 48, and public safety was nowhere as big as it is now. All right, Nick, take us into this. This is on digital right now. It's going to be broadcast tonight. What can people expect to see as far as the experience?
Well, the experience, of course, is just an open and honest discussion from each of the people in the gubernatorial camps, the youth group camps, as well as our own young reporters here, our young group of journalists, just having that open talk about what our leaders should really listen up to. So let's take a look.
Aloha and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to talk about different issues, like local issues and the general election, which can you guys believe is like right around the corner?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, some of us will be very happy and very sad that day, but nonetheless, it's almost here. For those of you that don't know, my name's Hannah.
Hi everyone, my name is Masuki.
And I am Daniel, the anime and movie lover. So let's just get, intros out of the way. How'd you guys find yourselves here talking to the KUAM crew?
Me first time? Yeah, sure. So I'm Nolan Flores. I'm 22. I'm a recent graduate of the University of Guam. I serve in the Guam Youth Congress as the University of Guam's representative there. I was just asked to be here to talk a bit about, what we feel are issues as youth. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm Mateo Mortera. I'm the chairman with the Generation of Promise. And Nick reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in coming, sitting down with you guys and chopping it up, see what we can do. Talk about voter apathy and why we're involved in this type of stuff and come up with some solutions. So, yeah.
Generational Promise. I'd love to hear more about that later on.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I know you guys brought some topics that we can talk about. Anyone want to go first? Well, actually, did you? Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's fine. No, I'm Kiana Yabut. I am a student and upcoming graduate of the University of Guam this December. I'm also part of an organization called Family Rights. If you guys have heard of it, really proud of that. And now I'm here to talk to all of you guys. Have a great time.
I'm Rick Nicholas. I'm an alumni of the University of Guam. I have my master's in public administration and my undergraduate in business. I currently work in the private sector, and I do a lot of work with the public sector, a lot with law enforcement. And so I'm just excited. Thank you, KUAM, for bringing us all together, and thank you, our generation, for sitting down with us and just sharing your ideas. I think it's great, and like Mateo mentioned earlier, the more that we can come together and share topics like this, I think the more people will come out and share their ideas, their voice will be heard. And at the end of the day, I think the one thing we can all agree on is the more that the electorate participates, the better it is for all of us, right? And so I know there's not a lot of topics we agree on, but I think that's the one topic we all agree on. So thank you all for being here.
Yeah. All right, so let's just jump into it. I know you guys brought things you want to talk about. We'd like to start it off.
So, there's this big issue, guys. I'm pretty sure that you've heard of it. There are less people our age in our generation, Gen Zs, millennials, who really don't vote. And, well, for me, when I hear people, their main concern as to why they don't vote is it's just because they're not being listened to. Do you guys agree with this?
I think that there's some truth to that. I think from what I have seen as a young person, I think a lot of the reason why people don't vote is because they just don't really care and they don't see how voting for these people affects them in their daily life. But something that I always tell my friends and I always tell people is that if you don't vote, then you don't get a say in how you live your everyday life. And so I definitely think that's part of it, but I think what's important to note is that people should see that the people in government quite literally run the day-to-day basis of our lives, and it's important that we choose people who we want that we feel represent us. So for me, that's like what it is. Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off of that because very much agree with that.
Do so.
I think people, they don't. A lot of young people don't see that it's important, especially in our generation. But it is, and even the little things from potholes in the road, like little things like that, all depends on who we elect into office. It's not always those big issues. Not everybody cares about those huge issues. Yeah. But it's even the small little things such as that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, bravo. Interesting stuff. If politics is your thing, you're going to want to check that out because that is going to be tonight, 6:30 p.m. on KUAM TV. And if politics is not your thing, which I guess is the whole point, this may actually motivate you, definitely will educate you, and hopefully inspire you to consider getting involved.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be on Channel 8 again, 7 o'clock tonight. That's Decision 2022, the Roundtable Generation 20s. A lot of great feedback being shared there.
Right on. Okay, because it is Halloween, right? We would be completely remiss if we did not figure out what the heck everybody is dressed up. I clearly am a University of Miami football player, which I would never be in like real life, but it's all about the U, right?
No one specific?
No.
No player specific?
I couldn't even be the water boy at this point. That's next
We'll
level.
go with that one. That's a popular one. Water boy.
Okay, Matsuki, who are you or what are you?
So I just have these space ghost buns on my head thanks to TikTok.
Yeah.
So you got that from TikTok. You actually made those yourself, right? Okay, lean forward like a little bit so P can get like a shot at. Very, very nicely done.
Thank you.
And those LEDs have been on all morning. Very
Hopefully
cool.
they last throughout the day.
Okay, Daniel, you're a little bit early for Mardi Gras. I would
No.
say maybe about 5 months too early, but hey, laissez les bottins rouler. Let the good times roll. It's never too early for gumbo. So,
was nice.
who are you gonna be tonight?
So right now I'm actually dressed as a masquerade baller. I was watching Van Helsing last night, and so I was like, hey, that'd be a good quick costume. But for tonight, I'll probably be dressed as somebody from Tokyo Revengers, which is a very popular anime.
How did I know you were not gonna say that? It was a huge anime guy. And then Nick, I gotta say, man, those.
Dora.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is what happens. So it's Dora the Explorer, but
The contacts are frightening as hell.
for
I'm
the
not gonna
kids.
lie.
No, it's not the kids' version. This is what happens to Dora as she dies when she loses her map and doesn't find her way. So the exploration is over.
That turned morbid. Real quick.
I want to say thank you guys for Matsuki. Thank you for sharing your DIY savvy. Daniel, thank you for sharing your creativity and love of Japanese culture. Nick, thank you for now evoking nightmares that I'm gonna have to deal with from now until the election's over. Fortunately, that's only a week and a half away.
Delicioso.
All right, please stay tuned because there is much more of the hotspot coming up. Hot being the operative word when we return.